Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation, what is sensorality? Looking to stabilize our definition with direct integration, showing the syllability directly being absorbed into the ontological structure of the species. And so, just going through our derivation steps, we had some fun with some French yesterday. We do have some more French today, but just looking for this unique sequence of syllability, a definition, what is the quality of a sensor, what is sensorality. So we move along. Sensorality is mathemality, right? Mathematics, mathemality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Quoi est touché, right? We always say touché, like you did something interesting or nuanced or something, and you say touché. Built off the French word toucher, touching. Quoi est toucher à singe? What is toucher to monkey? But quoi est chanson à songe? Chanter est singing. Right? What is touch to sing? Can you touch singing? So we might get interrupted with some barky barkos interruptions. Le chien. Hey. So we might cut this one off. We don't know. We're working through some turmoil today. But quoi est touché à singe? Literally in French, what is touché to monkey? But again, this syllability, this association of letters to sounds, then going from French to English, right? Can you touch singing? A weird question, but again, we're forcing some sort of logical presentation, some sort of false juxtaposition. We're forming logical out of bounds to give us our this is a word and this is not a word, and that defines sensorality. Sensorality is essence. Sensorality is essentiality. Trying to generalize essence felt like a meaningful step, linguistically cumbersome. What is essentiality to speciality? And again, that's a generalization of essence, not essential. Gus mode, up here, buddy. Come up here, buddy. We continue on for maybe now. But essence is special. What is accord to d'accord? Is an account an accord, right? In accordance. What is accordance to cadence? Sensodorality is aromality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Right, again, aroma, you smell aroma. Aroma is odor. And you can see that word form, aroma, odor. The elementality should strike you as similar. Sensorality is essential essence. Natural definition, again, we're having some sort of direct iteration. The logic will change even though the word's the same. We'll use up all of the letters and it will reduce to a clean, all of these steps reduce to a very clean working definition. Essence is core. What is liability to compliability? Is law compliant? It's cool to care about consent. Caring is core. Sensorality is core care. Direct iteration, natural definition. Sensorality is core function. Is core base? Sensorality is base case. Direct iteration, natural definition. Is bare base? Is core bare? What is compliability to replyability? All right, is reply compliant? Sensorality replicates reply. Reproduction is replication. Replication placates. Direct iteration. Is placation playful? Is vacation placation? Does vacation placate? What is playful to awful? Is resentful awful? Sensorality resents. Sensorality is resentful. But wait a second. What's the base of resentful? Scent again, which is a form of sentience, which is a form of sensorality. Emphasizing sensorality is R-E cent hyphen full. The spelling will be on your screen. Is resent essential? Direct iteration. What is resent to consent? Sensorality resents consent. If that applies to you, you're a sick fuck. Direct iteration, once again, highlighting the step. No means yes, and yes means, yep, you're going to prison, you sick, sick animal. Sensorality resets resent. Direct iteration. All right, let's just go to sleep. We'll wake up, it'll be a new day. All right, resets resent. Sensorality is odor armor. Sensorality is aroma armor. Sensorality is armorality. Now we have another form, the base of humor, humorality, morality, or again, not base, but completing word with ality. Sensorality is armorality, armor, another one of these words ending in M-O-R, producing morality. Sensorality armors memory. Armorality, humorality, memorality. Right, what is memorality to armorality? What is arming to armoring? Is armory sensory? Again, you add generalized sensory, you get sensorality. Generalized armor, you get armorality. Armor defends, arming offends. Arming is alarming. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality arms. What is a sensor to an alarm? Is an alarm a sensor? Armor is selfish. Fundamental theorem of emotion. Selfishness is defensive. Sensorality is pensive. So the title of the last episode, sodality. But now we can change the pronunciation, same syllability, because what does sodality produce? Soda, right? What is sod to soda? Sodality, sodality. Sensorality is sodiality. Sodiality, sodiality, just pronouncing it like soda. Sensorality is special soda. Natural definition, direct iteration. So, that fizzy beverage in the can, is it a pop, is it a soda? I don't know what pops are quite yet, right? A snap is different than a click. What is a pop? She pops that blank for a real blank in the club. But in our definition, we've arrived at soda in the context of directly the object. The irreducible association of sound to meaning, that thing, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, soda. Sensorality is special soda. Now, sensorality is light soda, like L-I-T-E, directly on the cans. Natural definition, direct iteration, emphasizing the syllability, sodality, right, is soda. You can expand L-I-T-E, put an E on there, sodality, soda light Y. The letters will be on your screen. What is armor to flavor? Sodality is dosality. So now it says, Brad, sodality, you're just making weird steps, but we iterate internally and it's complete. Direct iteration, natural definition, sodality is dosality. Sensorality doses. Sensorality is a dose of reality. Is odor real? Yep, that was the next step. Sensorality is dosorality. So again, kind of just taking the E off of dose and then stuffing orality on there. But conceptually combining or juxtaposing dose and orality. All right. Uh-oh, Barky's going crazy. Doses are discrete. Sensorality senses doses. Is are real? Direct iteration. Are is real. Again, the syllability of the verb is you are, A-R-E, without the L is real. Or real is are without the L. Natural definition, direct iteration. Right, so that's weird. We even have a complete definition, or a containment at least, of a verb. Again, it's just these weird associations with language. talking about, we've been doing it for a while now, with these bigger connections about different chunks of ontology. Now, can we solve a math problem? Well, what is the word mathematics, the structure of language in relation to everything else? And so we're assessing, again, the structure of language in its entirety. What is a sofa to a soda? Sensorality is sophality. Sophality. Sensorality is sofa odor. That gives you a nice conceptualization. Natural definition, direct iteration. Body odor, BO, is PU. Nice. Brandish is brand-ish. Natural definition, direct iteration. Another one of a personal favorite. Brandish is brad-ish. Nice. Direct iteration. LOL, I put it in parentheses. Ish is about. Like we said, black, blackish, about. Ish is about. What is like to about? What is about to amount? Sensorality amounts to nothing, just like Brad's life. Is pressure passive? Is pressure impressive? Is pensive impressive? No. Sensorality eludes censorship. Is elusive conclusive? Again, finding some sort of internal differentiation we can show with the syllability. Right? Why would sensorality elude censorship? Isn't sensorality censorship? We're just finding the stabilized definite sequence of syllability. Building this big logical structure to have an environment, a context in which we can prove things. Sensorality is elusivity. Is exclusive elusive? Direct iteration. What is elasticity to elusivity? What is exclusivity to elasticity? Is electricity elastic? Is electricity elusive? What is am to are? I am, you are. A sensor does not make sense. So now back to this internal fundamental conceptual differentiation of sensorality with a C and an S, pairing it up to, again, almost certain the fundamental differentiation has to come from this inversion. Speciality and sensorality for sure. Which part of that, that's what we're working through. But again, to the ordinality of the alphabet, right? C comes before S. But we have the word sense completely, S-E-N-S-E. So we've made this difference between sensorality with an S and then sensorality with a C. But a sensor with a C does not make sense. And then we have this just the vowel, the only vowel from sensor and sense is E. Emphasizing that was a big conceptual step. It's part of this spelling, which is like the proof. Wanted to emphasize that. I don't think you guys can follow that all that well. But we have sensor, the correct spelling of the C, which is contained within sensorality, and then to the word sense, and just that iteration of the vowel E. The base of sensor, now that's S-E-N-S-O-R, is sensor, C-E-N-S-E-R. And so again, going from C to S is, increasing ordinality or more progressive or evolving through the alphabet. And then the S, or again, the E goes to the O. But again, we're arriving at this fundamental demonstration, and it will show all of these properties at once. So this was the big kind of conceptual progress today. Essential is consequential. So stating the fundamental theorem of logic again, inconsequential is the opposite of essential. Essential is integral is required, but if it's inconsequential, it's not essential, right? It doesn't matter. Is information consequential? Is formation sequential? Sequencing forms. What is the quality of a sequence? Algorithmicality is algorithmability. Emphasizing the geometry of the G and the Q. Again, from rhythm to algorithm, we have this base concept. Rhythm, a cycle that does work. And I'm still thinking we again, from rhythm to algorithm was a structure of logic produced by the last reduction. And so I'm pretty sure, again, censoring is algorithming. Algorithming is censoring, but it's just some sort of completion, this complete iteration shown throughout language to reduce all of our linguistics and to finalize and stabilize what is sensorality. But I'm thinking we will literally go from rhythm to algorithm or algorithm to censor, or some chunk of this syllability will be a big resolution. There will certainly be completion, and I think it will be completion of the algorithm, some part of that syllability. Doesn't matter, not worth conjecturing. Censorability is algorithm ability. Algorithms censor sense. So now an algorithm is not sentient, so that spelling is with a C if you're just listening, but we're getting this direct, again, sequential order, censor with a C and sense with an S, to show this fundamental inversion. Algorithm ability is censor ability. Censorability, sera, right? Will be is the base of censor ability. Directly produces that. Sensorality will be. And that's, again, conjugation through other verbs, specifically French. It's always have or being, être or avoir. But again, like what we started with, right? Peux-je toucher le singe? Can I touch the monkey? Sounds weird, but again, the toucher is touche, like the verb to touch or touching. Again, the reason people say infinitive verbs are to this, right? Touche, touche, touching to touch. But without this indication of a subject, your first conjugated verb establishes the subject of a sentence. And so any infinitive verb reads as touche, touche, touching to touch, right? Lire, lire, reading to read. And then they just say all infinitive verbs are to this, and it's just no. Right? It should be immediately appreciated if you're studying a foreign language. Look at all your infinitive verbs. If there's not a subject established, you read that infinitive verb as an ing. Again, our fundamental syllable, a thing. But sensorality will be. And then the linguistic structure, touche, touch, to sing, right? Can you touch singing? Is singing touching? Everything is connected, but nothing is touching. Again, arriving at some sort of definitive physical process described completely by linguistics. What is chanting to singing? Right? En français, chanter, a singing. But in English, chanting versus singing. What conceptualization does that bring to your mind? Sensorality differentiates singing and chanting. What is chanting to charging? So that's another one of these word forms that are close. Or what is change to chant? What is chanting to ranting? What is ranting to rating? What is raving to waving? Sensorality is a raving lunatic. Consensus phrasing. Sensorality is lunaticality. Sensorality utilizes ability. What is the utility of a censor? So remember, we're developing this whole question that's completely solvable. And it's going to be a direct statement. Speciality is special with an ITY. That's a complete reduction. That is where we are getting to. Hopefully freaking soon. Regardless, my rights continue to be violated. Give me a little bit of money. It is profound and extensive T word. I expect to be D word before anything changes. Sensorability is utility ability. Sensorality differentiates utility. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is the utility of odor? What is chanting to charting? Charting is graphing. Sensorality charts charge. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is crime to charge? Obviously we charge crime. Oh wait, no we don't. There are no laws. Laws that are not enforced do not exist. But emphasizing the word form crime and the word form charge. My rights continue to be violated. I would like to charge crime, but we do not have laws that enforce. We do not have maturity within our species. We do not have morality. We do not have consistency. We do not have good people. We just have people that play games and cheer really loud at the sports venues. Wee-hoo, awesome sauce. Cool beans. Regardless, I continue to beg for a little bit of money to eat properly, to sleep properly, and to work. Just, again, building our definition, this analytical process is well defined. We're just working through. The realization is what is limited, and the conceptual progress is well bounded by the whole culture itself. We should be getting there soon, but why can't I have a little bit of money yesterday? I lose every single minute of every single day. It never changes and nobody cares. To my estate, prosecute absolutely everybody, show leniency to nobody, and do history remember these people as fucking disgusting trash. That is what I have for right now. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.